Well, I don't know what happened, but it froze up on us. Hi, everybody. That was supposed to be our countdown. So you can count down 10, 9, 8. We're Mike and Jennifer. Welcome to Ask Us Anything. It is Sunday night, and it is a cold and blustery Sunday here in Michigan, where we're coming to you from. And we welcome many of you aboard. We are simulcasting tonight in our Facebook page, our Facebook group, our Facebook supporters, and of course, our YouTube channel, our RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube. So welcome, everybody. We are so glad to have so many of you with us. Couple of quick things. We are going to try and answer as many questions as we can. We'll start off in a little bit with an update. But first, I want to acknowledge a couple of super chats that have come through. And let me tell you what super chats are. That is something that our folks on YouTube can do. And it's a little, you see a little dollar sign out there, and it kind of puts you to the top of all of the questions. And we have our friend Mark Engribson, 1999 super sticker. That's kind of like a super chat. But then he also gave us a $14.99 super chat. Mark, you're spending too much money on this. And he's wishing best wishes for the holidays. May Jesus always have a place in your life. Remember, Bo knows. Miss seeing Bo. Well, Bo's around.
Bo's sleeping someplace.
Mark, we almost put up our Christmas tree today.
We were thinking about it.
Yeah, our Christmas tree.
Yeah, we were thinking
of doing it,
and then got other things.
We didn't. So thank you very much, Mark, for those super chats. That's great. And everybody, I think you got all sorts of different prices that our super chats can come in at different things, and we're going to kind of go through all the questions. But as everybody comes in from all the different social media platforms, sometimes we miss stuff, and the way that we can get your questions, we've got a little system for it. Let's bring on Phyllis Kerr to kind of help us. Phyllis is our social media guru and cat wrangler here on the live show.
Cat wrangler, I like that one better, much better.
Give them some help on how they can help us know what's a question and what's a comment.
Okay, well, the YouTube people, they got it all figured out. If you have a question, you type question in all caps, or if you have a comment, you type comment in all caps. There's no need to type the whole thing in caps. We can read it once we see that. And then that way, Mike will see it as it's going through the chat. Now, if you're on Facebook, please do the same thing, but also know that your comments are being sprinkled inside of all of the YouTube chat things. So it might take us a few minutes to get to yours, even though you only see maybe 2 or 3 questions. So just be patient. Don't type it over and over. We will get to it.
We will. We'll do our best. We usually try and keep these to an hour, and we'll go through them as fast as we can. Some of them take a little longer. We always like to start off with kind of where we went. Phyllis, we'll check in with you later. Phyllis is going to be in the chat rooms and helping everything, and we'll bring her back a little bit later at the end. A couple of quick things we want to talk about. Just what we've been up to this past week. We were on the road, and we went to Cleveland, Ohio.
And it was a good trip.
Yeah, it was a great trip. We went to one of the, we do a number of factory shows along the line. We went to one in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was just looking I had a picture of it, I thought, but I guess I didn't. Let me see if I can bring this picture up. We went to Advanced RV in Willoughby, Ohio, and we had an interesting time. We got there Thursday night.
Spent the night in their parking lot, and were there first thing in the morning, and got a great tour of a special vehicle. Brand
new prototype. Advanced RV, I've done a big story on them, tour about 2 years ago. They're probably the most expensive but the most luxurious Class B manufacturer that is out there. Their Class Bs typically start about $250,000 new. They're gorgeous, but they're all handcrafted, all customized. Well, they've been strict van Class Bs, but they have come up with a prototype. And we talked to Mike Neuendorf and his wife Marcia, are friends of ours, and we were invited to come and take a quick look at this. And it's called the B Box, and we're going to give you a quick look at what it looks like. Let me see if I
It's
can.
the perfect name for it.
Yeah,
V-Box.
let's see if I can bring this on the screen.
You make
And
it, blow it up, make it look
well, I
big.
think I can.
There it is.
No, they don't see it. Only we see it. I got to
Well,
somehow
that's not good.
figure out why that's not showing.
We
You
got
know,
a
I
great view of
rehearsed
it.
this. I did. I rehearsed this before, and I had this all set. But I'm going to have to bring this up in a second. We'll check it. But anyway, it is on the Sprinter chassis, just like their other vehicles are. But it is a different kind of Sprinter chassis. It's the cutaway chassis instead of the straight van chassis, which are made into a conversion. They just kind of gut the van and build from the inside. This is actually a chassis in which they assemble a box on the back of it, hence its name, the B-Box. And for some reason, I am having trouble pulling up a photograph of it. And it's just not, it's not coming up in the thing, and I don't want to waste any more time. I did have it showing once, and it was pretty impressive. We've seen it. We'll have a full video on it in about 2 weeks. It won't be next week. It'll be probably the week after. So excuse me for not being able to somehow show that. It's kind of weird. Let me try another way to show it to you. Let's see if this works. If I share the screen like so and bring that up. There it is. Well, maybe not. Can you all see that? I don't know whether that's showing or not. I don't think it is. Nope.
I think you're going to have to give up.
I think I'm going to have to give up because, well, maybe not. Let's just see what happens when I share that. Nope. Everything seems to be locking up, and I don't know why. So sorry about that, but let's try something else then. The weather. I mentioned how nasty the weather was, and Jennifer said go out and shoot some weather. So I did, and this will be just the noise of the weather, and a cold front went through, and see if you notice something here. All right, that was for you people in Florida. Did you see what that was? That was snow. There was snow in that shot. That was unbelievable how cold it got. Bo liked it.
It was fine. You just got to bundle up.
All right. Let's get on to your questions. Enough of, and I'm sorry again, I couldn't show you that picture. It worked when I did a rehearsal of this earlier today, and I feel just terrible that I can't show it to you. So here we go. Let's go to some of the questions that we have. And let's go to William Robbins. He says, we have a Wonder Murphy bed on order. The Wonder is the leisure travel vans built on the Ford Transit chassis. We would like to boondock a night or two between full hookups. We have ordered the lithium option, but no solar. Do you think we will be okay? Well, sure, you'll be fine. You don't have to have solar. Solar helps. But if you're only talking for a night or two, you'll be fine. Just, just charge your batteries. I don't know if you ordered the generator with it. To charge the batteries, you would turn on your generator, or you turn on your engine, and it'll help keep your batteries topped off. The solar is just a third way to top off your batteries. And in the wintertime, it's most effective only when the sun's straight overhead anyway. They help. We have 400 watts on ours, and we really like it. It helps keep it. If we don't move the vehicle or start the generator or start the motor, it helps top off the batteries. But you've got the, if you order the generator, you have the generator option to charge them. If your house batteries get low, those lithium batteries, and you can also start the engine, and the alternator will charge them. So
I don't know if I should open the can of worms about how Advanced RV feels about solar.
Yeah, one of the things we asked them about solar, and they don't have solar on that B-Box that we wanted to show you. And I'm not sure, other than the fact that they have a ton more of lithium batteries. They really have it.
A lot of lithium batteries, and they feel that solar is only good for what? How many hours a day?
They really only at the noon, only right at high noon and in the summertime. I got the picture of the B-Box. Here it is.
You're kidding me.
There it is.
You're kidding me.
All right, let me lose the question that we had up there, because that's kind of taken away everything. And man, I'm having nothing but technical difficulties tonight. Well, I haven't gotten rusty. There we go.
There's
That's
the
the B-Box. So if you look at the B box, you can see it's the Mercedes-Benz chassis, and it is a literal box built and bolted on to the cutaway chassis. And they put a little wind scoop over between the box and the top of the cab on the Mercedes. And the motorhome inside is where the motorhome is. It's kind of ugly.
Oh, I see. I thought it was attractive.
I think it's
liked
kind
it.
of ugly.
I liked the very neutral, very contemporary. I liked it.
Now you can make it any. You can put any colors you want on it.
Add a little splash of color.
And what makes it really interesting are all of the extras.
Did you get the pictures from my phone?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not.
I got lots of pictures of
She's
the
got
interior.
some. Well, I don't want to give too many away.
Yeah,
We're going to be, and there's a video out that they've done.
We've got a video coming.
We'll have a full video coming up later on. But,
so stay tuned. I thought it was.
Yep.
I thought it was attractive.
But yeah, well, it's pretty ugly. I don't know what else to say.
Different
and it's kind of
opinions.
industrial feel.
Yeah.
Now it is. That said, it has some really neat innovation on it. It has recirculating water for the shower, massive filtration system. So it has a 50-gallon freshwater tank. It is everything is just built really nice on it. And we don't want to give too much away. We did a full tour. We'll show you and explain it. Massive amounts of lithium batteries. And that's why they don't have solar. And they're not big fans of solar. They say that solar is oversold. And that if you have enough lithium batteries and you got a good alternator, they do not have an external generator on it as well.
Because there always is the battle about solar, because the sun being directly above, and it doesn't exactly tilt to pick up the sun rays.
Yep. So that's how it goes. So anyway, that's where we were and what everything was about there. Here's a question from Catherine.
Is Bo an Akita? Is he accepted in most campgrounds? Is he a rescue? A rescue. He was a surprise birthday present. What did you guys do professionally before retirement?
Well, Bo is a Norwegian elk hound.
He's a Norwegian elk hound, and he is accepted in campgrounds, except a lot of people are afraid of him because he looks a little bit like a wolf.
Yeah, he does. An Akita looks more like a bear or a lion.
Yeah.
And I don't know, people always are mistaking him for a Akita. A Keeshhound is another breed that he's often mistaken for.
Long-haired
but
elk
he
hound.
is a Norwegian elk hound, and very welcome. Those are a very calm and fun breed. They're great family dogs. Akitas can be a bit aggressive. He is not a rescue. He was given to us
A surprise birthday present.
Surprise birthday present. He's the fourth of that breed we've had.
Our dog number 3 passed unexpectedly, and our children, 6 months after Ty passed, for our birthdays that are 4 days apart, they all walked in carrying a little 16-pound Norwegian elk. We should have a picture of Bo, how cute he was when they brought him.
Oh, there's a.
And then the adventure began.
And what did you guys do professionally? Journalist. I was a journalist for 40 years. Still am a journalist. I consider what we do now as much journalism, if not more so, and better journalism than I ever did working for television networks, big city TV stations, big city newspapers. Jennifer was the producer. If you really want to hear our story and learn more about us, go to rvlifestyle.com/about. And we have an about page, tells you all about our history, our background, how we got to do this, how we thought we were going to retire. And this has turned into a business, and it's a business now that keeps us working about 60 hours a week, between the blog, the podcast, the YouTube channel, newsletter, and a series of 10 books that we've done. And we have to pinch ourselves because we are enjoying this so much. So journalism is our background. I work big city newspapers, television stations, radio stations.
And we did a lot of freelance television. We were very fortunate that I think I've been to 22 foreign countries, not to go look at the lions and things like that. I mean,
no, we're covering wars, riots,
orphanages.
Yeah. And most of my life as a journalist was as an investigative reporter. And so all we told was bad news. So now, as we flipped our lives around, what we're doing now is celebrating.
We want to tell good news.
We want to uplifting. Yep. We want to, and that's, we've lost sight of how much is really still good out there. And it's so trying and negative these days. And everybody's so cynical. And so many people are so rude. And what we love about the RV lifestyle, Catherine, is that it's a place where most of those differences are put aside and people truly enjoy, being out in God's creation and meeting interesting people, having fun. celebrating
Just
life.
sharing restaurants, sharing places to go to see, sharing campgrounds, things that you should see. People
Yep.
like to share and help each other.
Yep. A question from Joan Parks.
Any idea when Starlink internet will be available to the public?
Well, that's Elon Musk's constellation. That's what they call a whole bunch of satellites up in the sky. Low orbit Earth satellites. Most of the satellites up there now are about 22,000 miles in geosynchronous orbit. These are low orbit satellites, which will be orbiting around the Earth in a series of strips all the way around the Earth. And each satellite will cover an area. And the speed potentially can be even better than broadband, the cable that you have at home. However, it's not going to be available for use by the public at least until the end of 2021, if then. It's going to be very expensive when it first comes out. There are some beta testers that are out there, but your odds of being one of those are pretty slim right now because they're going with high-tech people who are familiar with it. But they keep launching more satellites all the time, and the goal is to have all of the nations, all the different nations covered with this, and a constellation of satellites. But I would not expect to see it in commercial use by RVers until maybe the end of next year, but more likely, I think, even 2022. We'll see. So much these days that is that's that everybody's still confusing about. So lots of you online. I'm looking now. I'm going to scroll down and take some more of the questions, and it gets a little bit crazy sometimes for us. But here's one from James Harris.
Okay, a comment. When boondocking, if you accidentally get stuck in freezing temperatures below 20 degrees, should you stop using water and dump your freshwater tank and just use antifreeze when using the toilet?
But the key, James, is at 20 degrees for prolonged periods of time, 8 to 10 hours. If the temperature warms up well above freezing in the daytime, and if you are in the RV and you have the heat on and you're using it, you're probably fine for a night or two. But when the temperature consistently gets below freezing into the 20s, if it's freezing water on the ground, puddles, then it's time to winterize.
Now, even if you dump your water, see if I understand this right, you still got water in there that could freeze and expand?
Sure, there's little traces of water, and that can happen. If you dump your water, you also got to dump your hot water tank. Make sure you do that. Most places that RV service shops that do winterizing will also use low pressure air to blow out so that all the water in those pipes and the plumbing system is gone. You don't want any water in there. You don't have to worry about your fresh tanks. If you've emptied that, leave it like it is. You can use your black tank and your gray tank. Just put antifreeze in with however much you put in the black water tank or in the gray water bowl or sink. Put as much antifreeze in.
Match it.
Yeah, to match it. So I hope that helps. Let's kind of go through looking for your questions. Boy, there's a lot of you on here tonight. And I'm going to keep moving forward if I can. Sometimes it's hard to see because I don't have my glasses on. Here's one, and sometimes I take them and I don't even know what they're going to say. I'm going to put my glasses on.
Okay, this is Linda Ward.
Linda is one of our supporters, by the way, on our Facebook supporters group. Hi, Linda.
I have recently seen a number of videos in which campers have dumped or plan to dump their gray water on the ground where they are. I find this to be disgusting as well as environmentally unsound. Please tell me that this is not a common practice.
Well, unfortunately, with so many new people, it is a common practice, and that's a shame. And that's one of the reasons folks like us get so worked up. There are so many people who are just going out camping and they have never bothered to learn etiquette. It is not a good idea to dump your gray water. And, there are times that I suppose you have no other choice if you're way out in the middle of nowhere and it's not really filthy water, but we've never done it, and we don't do it, and it is not environmentally. If
we all did that, what a mess it would be.
And it's the same thing as people who throw beer cans and leave them in the woods or start fires and walk away. There are a lot of new people that are coming out there, and unfortunately, like everything else in our culture today, there are a lot of rude people, and manners kind of go by the wayside. But no, you should not.
Maybe they're trying to save a little bit of a fee of having to pay to,
You
to
should
officially
not dump
dump
your gray water because
their
it's got
tanks.
detergents in it. Yeah, I know.
Tell them, we're coming home from Cleveland on the Turnpike. There was a place where we could dump on the Ohio Turnpike. So you need to seek out, check ahead.
We were wondering what to do with, because I was going to clean out my black tank and empty it when I got done. And driving home on the Ohio Turnpike, they had an RV dump right there, and I used that.
So you might be surprised the places that are out there.
Yeah. Let's see.
Did you skip over the question about we're struggling to use that?
Here we go. Yeah, thank you for seeing that. I was way down there. From Despina Rises.
Okay, we're struggling to use RV Trip Wizard to plan a trip to the Florida Panhandle from Virginia, avoiding highways, tolls, and not breaking the 3:30 rule. After 2 days, we are only in North Carolina.
Budget more time. Well, that's the thing. If you want to keep the 3:30 rule, and why don't you tell a lot of newcomers are out there tonight.
3:30 rule means you don't drive any more than 330 miles in a day, or that you stop at 3:30 so that you can settle in, not try to park when it's dark outside, just be able to relax a little bit.
Now, we call it the 3:30 rule. It's not a rule. It's only
just a suggestion.
It's a goal.
It's a suggestion.
How about that? We call it, it's a goal.
I mean, once it was 3:30 in the morning. So,
I'll have a whole podcast on RV Trip Wizard coming up the week after this. And I love that app because you can plan your trip, and it'll set you you can have a little circle to show you how far 3:30 is. And you can find, it's really it's the best planning tool out there. And I'll have a whole podcast up on that coming up, not this week, but in the next issue. But anyway, going from to the Panhandle. In fact, we're thinking about going to the Panhandle this week. After 2 days, you're only in North Carolina. You might have to kind of make it a 500 rule day, and then you'll get there for sure. But you'll enjoy Trip Wizard. It's great. All right, here's a question from Wonderbike.
Are you still using jack pads?
I am. We love them, and these are actually it's a 4 corner automatic leveling system. And the system we had installed by Equalizer in Elkhart, Indiana. And it's not a factory option on the RV we have, which is the Leisure Travel Advance Wonder. But they were able to put 4 of them on, and we use them and love them. And it's just a great thing to have. So it's great.
And then we had a question about, did we get to see the B-Box? But that's been answered. So hopefully they were tuned in.
Yep. I'm going to give you this since you're finding these questions, and you can put them up if you want. Yes, we did show that. And for anybody who's just touring in, there is a picture of the B-Box. Right. Whoops, that's not it. I'll show you another picture of the B-Box, and that's the last time we'll talk about that.
I really enjoyed seeing the B-Box because it's something new. And I was going to say it's out of the box.
And Andrew, you tuned in late because we spoke about it at significant length here just a minute ago. Either that or you asked that question while we were talking.
This is the prototype, and Mike didn't like the interior because he thought it was too stark. But I think
it looked industrial.
It does look a little industrial, but you'd soften it up a little bit with a few of your own touches.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. I just and here's what I thought, Andrew. I thought it was kind of a prototype name, but no, that's really what they're going to call it, the B-Box. And it is a Class B. I thought it was technically a Class C, but it is not. And it is actually a little narrower and a little smaller than the normal Class B Sprinter van. This is on the Sprinter cutaway chassis.
And because it is a box,
it's squared.
The cabinets inside, because it's not rounded, you have a lot more room in those cabinets.
Yeah.
It feels very spacious inside.
They have some great innovations in it.
And what they do, which I wish everybody would do, is they make a really comfortable sofa bed. They don't chintz on the bed. You don't
have to put a bunch. It actually folds up into a really nice bed. You don't have to be squeezing pillows in.
We've
like
had
others
where you
make you.
squeeze the pillows in and you're pounding them down and you got the little ridges and everything.
Should we tell them how much it costs?
I don't care. Tell
You
them.
tell them.
You tell them.
I'm not going to tell them.
Well, then they'll have
I'll
to
save
wait.
it for this.
They'll have
Let
to
me
wait.
just tell you this, Andrew.
It
It's
costs
a lot of money.
I mean, the Wendlands are not going to be getting one.
Think $300,000
Plus.
Yeah, plus. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's and when you say why, well, it's the, and you'll see it in the video that we do. It's the quality.
The
that they
quality
build in.
of the faucet and for the kitchen sink.
I mean, it's a Moen faucet. I mean, that's no big deal in and of itself, but everything,
everything
is
is quality.
and tested. But expect to pay around $300,000
Plus.
for it.
And plus.
Yeah, plus it goes higher.
The Wendlands will not be driving one.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to drive one. Maybe they'll let
Well,
us borrow it. I'm trying to talk them to. Oh, and the other thing is it's true for season. That's another thing.
Yeah.
So well insulated that and we're trying to talk Mike and his crew to come up to our winter camp out in Tequamanon Falls in January so we can actually test it out in the cold weather and see how it goes. So maybe we'll get a chance to either use one or get them to come up with one and we can all look at it. All right. Question. What is better?
The Unity or the Wonder and Why?
Well, my gosh, that's how do you say which is better?
The Unity costs more. It's on a sprinter and it can pull 5,000 pounds versus what the Wonder can do. There are pluses and minuses to everything in life. And we have had, about 7 different RVs. Everyone had the things we liked and then things we liked in the other two, but you can't have it all. Nobody has it all. Like in our Wonder, we've got a lot of storage, which we like. And there are many things. We like having the bed made up all the time. You can have an island bed or twin beds, but you can do the same with a Unity. You could have an island bed or twin beds. It's all what you want.
The Unity has a little more room, but it's
the best thing is to go to a show and go inside both. And the Wonder is less expensive, so that's a big plus.
About 30,000.
Big plus.
Straight off before all the options. It's about 30,000 less.
What I say to people is go to a show. Of course, now there aren't any shows, but
well,
hopefully there'll be shows.
Tampa's coming up in January.
Go sit in one. Lay on the beds in more than just 30 seconds. Lay on it a little bit at time and see what you think about it. If a Murphy bed, put it up and down a couple of times. You got to figure it out.
All right.
Am I going on too long?
No. Mike is in Brighton. As a person in the dreamer stage, how long do you suggest to rent an RV or RV trailer for the first time? Weekend, week, or longer? What do you think?
I think a week. How much time do you have? Just a weekend?
Well, here's the thing that a lot of people are surprised at RVs. They cost about as much as a 3 or 4 star hotel. A couple $100 a night to rent an RV. Plus your gas if you go over a certain mileage. But if you're first time, rent it for a weekend and go have fun with the weekend and give that a try and then try it for a week and see it.
Yeah, go, if you got the time, go for a week and then you'll be moving it from A to B spot or maybe just staying in one place. You'll have maybe empty tanks. You get a good feel for it.
But a weekend will give you a good quick test.
But I say you need to really sit and think, sit inside it.
And try a couple of them if you can.
Yeah.
Try maybe a Class B, Class C, Class A, if that's what you're interested in. Some will let you rent trailers if you want to tow it.
Compare the gas mileage, maintenance fees.
But you're thinking right, Mike, to try it. You want to read this one? I know this question.
Okay. I left a question earlier in the week.
This is the guy I was telling you about.
Trying to get my wife on board with a Class C.
Terry and Allison Larkin, Palm Coast, Florida. Terry, I need you to do me a favor and call our voicemail number and ask that question exactly as you asked it the first time when you posted it on YouTube. And we will do a long video answer, and we'll answer a couple of questions on it. And that's something we're going to try and do with some of the questions that we just don't have time to get to every week, is we'll try and do video versions. But I would love to get, in fact, if you can send me a video of you asking me that question, that would really help in putting the video. But we're going to answer it briefly now. If you want more detail, I'm putting it on you because I need your question either on our voicemail number, which you can get at rvlifestyle.com, or send me a video file. So how does he wants to go up. I believe Terry said he's a photographer too. and he just came back, I think, from Maine. See, Terry, I do read these emails. And he had to stay in hotels, and he realized he could have had more time out shooting stuff. How does he get his wife?
I would much rather stay in that Class C than hotel rooms. In a hotel room, it seems like your chances of not being able to good night's sleep, and the cleanliness, and just carrying everything in, carrying everything out. I don't like hotel rooms, and especially with the pandemic now, your space, your cleanliness, your everything. Now, I hope you didn't marry a woman that there's no way on earth that she's going to go camping.
But the idea is you start slow, and what does she want to do?
What are her
find some
interests?
things that you can go. Does she like antiques or museums, and plan a trip that spends as much time enjoying what she likes to do as well. Does she like to read? Find a great scenic place. Get her a nice, comfortable chair that you're carrying away, and let her enjoy being outside in beautiful countryside. But start slow. Let her try it, and never make it. And let her know that we can eat out. You don't have to cook in the RV. It's nice to cook in the RV, but we can eat out. And every third night, if she wants, you can stay in a hotel. But
this is one of those questions that if you go to premarital counseling, they don't ask this question. It's kind of like, what's a vacation? To one person, it's going to the ocean, and to the other person, it's going to the mountains. But marriage is all compromise, give and take,
yeah.
And trying to make you both happy.
And here's the thing, Terry, if it doesn't work out, you've tried it, and you can click it off your list and find something else to
and
do.
maybe if you get a used one, you can use it for a summer or for whatever you have in mind, and then sell it, and not lose much.
So good luck.
Costs.
But Terry, send me that as an audio or video, and we'll try and do a whole video around your question there. I think, let me see if I can pull this up. I think I just saw another super chat come through, and we did. This is from RV Journey 499. Thank you. We're looking at installing the WeBoost Drive X RV. Please share your thoughts. Well, we have had that. We've had it on several of our vehicles before, and I don't have it in this one because I don't think I need it anymore. It used to be, it was really a rough haul in some places to have cell signal. But in all of our travels over the last couple of years, I have not even needed the booster at all. And there's also now these new MIMO antennas, which are much more effective antennas that you can plug directly into, say, your MiFi or your jetpack. And those MIMO antennas are much more effective than the horizontally polarized antenna that comes in a cell phone booster. The MIMO will actually pick horizontal and vertical polarization, so you'll pull in more cells. I'm getting geeky here, I know, but you'll pull in more cell signals. So we just use the jetpack or the WeBoost signal that we have up on the roof, which isn't even a cell booster, it's just a cell antenna. And I can't think of when I have not had a signal. So give it a try, and you should be okay. All right, trying to find some questions here.
I've seen a whole bunch of them go flying by as you're going up and down.
I know.
When mooch docking, or
well, I'm trying to go back where I was.
Oh, there's one up
hard.
there. Did you stay warm? I saw. Did you stay warm?
Here,
you're making me dizzy.
Do you want to talk to him? Then don't look. You just look at the camera and just talk to him.
Yeah, I shouldn't look anyway.
All right, I'm probably missing everything that came before that. But in your RV, when using inverter power only,
are all of your 120 volt outlets powered up, or just certain ones?
Only the ones that are inverted. You have to have an inverted plug. It's got to be hooked up to the inverter. In our unit, there are several outlets that are not inverted. And the only time you have power to them is when you're hooked up to shore power or the generator is on. So that's, and that's something I could change, and I may do that. That it's an option. I did that on my Unity. I had them invert all of them.
All of them.
And I would like to have them do that on the Wonder. We have it actually going in to get a new refrigerator installed in December, and I can get enough time, I might have them go back and do that and just invert all the plugs. We have a 2,000 watt inverter. If it was up to me, I'd have a 3,000 watt inverter, but I'd also have one more lithium battery. We have two 100 amp lithium batteries. That seems to be fine for us and has been for the last RV. Linda Morrison.
It says we are getting a new small 24-foot C. Where do you store your shoes in your new Wonder?
Shoes. Well, we have a couple of places.
When you walk right in the door to the right, there's an opening that'll hold 2, 3. If you want to jam them in, maybe more
4
shoes.
pairs. We put hiking boots, tennis shoes.
So when you walk right in, it's
Slippers.
right there.
Yep.
Nice and handy.
And then we have a lot of storage under our beds in
Yes.
in lots and lots and lots of storage, and we could put more shoes in there,
Mhm.
and we could have boots and stuff out in the garage. And
Yes.
the Wonder that we have,
storage.
yeah, we have storage, and ours is the rear twin bed model. The other ones don't have quite as much storage because the rear twin bed is built up over this garage, this massive pass-through garage at the back. You can see a video tour that we did,
Mhm.
and it's on our channel. Kim with a question.
What's the most efficient speed to drive your Class B van to maximize the gas mileage?
You know, Kim, I have been keeping track of every trip we have done. We've got just about 5,000 miles on it now since we got it. It's a slow travel year, because of the pandemic. I've averaged 12.7 miles no matter what I do. I drive at highway speeds. So I don't drive at 55 or 60. That's too slow if you're on an interstate. I'm sorry, it's too slow. You're a traffic hazard. You know how people drive on the interstate. So I drive at highway speeds, whatever the prevailing traffic is. Usually 70, maybe a little more in some of the states that have a higher speed limit. And we do try and stay off the interstates as much as we can. And there it's probably more like
cruise
60.
control?
I use cruise control all the time.
Mhm.
Love cruise control. And that's that adaptive cruise control, which which if you get too close to something, it'll automatically slow down. I don't like that really. I prefer the
You feel like you've lost control.
Deuce Weber. It's a cool name. I like it, Deuce. I like your dog too. It looks like a Siberian.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you ever have condensation in any parts of your current LTV rear twin bed when traveling in the winter? Thank you in advance.
The only time we have condensation is in the morning on the windshield.
And you will in the winter,
Yeah.
Especially you put your the silver liners.
If you put
those up, if you put them up.
Reflectex.
Yeah. And we always do the front window.
Yeah, the front window. We have a little microfiber towel.
And that works well.
When we start off in the morning, I always have to wipe that off.
Mhm.
But
You're going to get that.
in cold weather.
Yeah.
We do. Facebook user with a question.
We have a Wonder rear twin bed on order. Have you had trouble finding enough storage space for food? Yeah, you got to maybe store some underneath, and you've got your pantry. And somebody warned me a long time ago not to load it too heavy. Makes sense. Sliding in and out. Don't pack it with all your cans and glass. Yeah, you have to think through. You've got a big freezer, good size refrigerator. You could, it depends on how many pots and pans you're taking. I use all my drawers for my pans. I carry an electric fry pan and then my pans and my silverware and everything. So I use up those drawers rather quickly. And we put netting up on the top for coffee, tea, spices to keep those in place above the television.
And you can see all of this we have a 2-part tour of the current RV we have right on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/RV Lifestyle. And we've got videos that'll show you how we do that.
We have so much storage under the bed. We have lots and lots of storage.
So basically, you have plenty of room.
Yeah, we have room.
You said no first, but
well, not where you traditionally think of storing everything in the kitchen area.
This is from Clee and Keith Berger.
Okay, we have a Class C Jayco Envoy. We are new to RVing and mooch docking at family. For some reason, the electricity keeps kicking off. What do? It's going to be below freezing tonight.
Well,
They're asking for too much power.
Yes, I would assume if you're mooch docking, you probably have plugged in to a 20 amp supply, maybe in the house of your relatives there.
And when you go camping, what are you plugging into?
Yeah, you plug into 30 amps when you're at a at a commercial campground.
Some people plug into a 50.
I don't know how big your inverter is. I don't know how much what you have for batteries, but you are clearly
asking for too much.
You're taking too much out. If you're running your heater, that should be okay. Usually the heaters are run from the from the 12-volt system, and it'll keep going. But and from propane, so you're okay. But if you're running like a little ceramic heater, those take 1,500 watts. So if you're running anything else with that, you're going to be kicking off the electricity. It's going to be tripping that circuit. So
so they have a generator?
You probably, well, that's pretty noisy in the neighborhood. So if you're mood stocking, you might want to come in tonight or get a lot of blankets, because you're tripping the power. You're just taking too much power out. I don't know the battery situation you have, and I don't know what, I'm assuming it's a 20 amp supply. Amy Jordan.
Thanks again for touring my beloved Upper Michigan the other week. Although there were so many other amazing spots you missed, you did not hit upon some of the awesome ones. Love the UP colors. We only had so much time.
Amy, I have 14 videos on the UP. I think it's probably more than that. And we've written a book on the UP. We haven't missed anything in the UP, but you can't do it all in one video.
Not in one video.
I had somebody today call about the video we put up last night, and it was a friend, and they said, "Did you ever think that could be broken up into 4 videos?" I said, "Well, that for our audience, they tend to watch it as on the big screen TV, and it's an alternate to TV, about 20-25 minutes for our main produced weekly videos. But you can't show everything."
And it was just like our little trips, the one, what we did. We went shopping.
Go look at everything I've done. I don't think there is a place in the UP I have not done a video on. And
we love the
twice.
UP. We're native Michiganders.
Yeah.
I know you haven't had your Wonder that long. So how did the Unity handle in the snow?
Great. I had no problems with it. You always have to be careful when you're on slippery road. This one should handle better, the new Wonder, because it's all-wheel drive. The Unity was just a regular 2-wheel drive.
The Unity, was it heavier? It was
not much, a little bit heavier. Ours current one we have weighs about 11,000 pounds. So, but it's for all-wheel drive, so we should be great. Yeah, we should be good. John Jurgens.
In your RV, when using inverter power only, are all
we just answered that one a couple of minutes ago, but hopefully you heard that, John, where we came back and answered that.
And
so let me go back and see.
I think in December we definitely need to book time to make all of our outlets.
Yeah, we want to invert all
inverted.
Of them. I wanted to just give you a quick heads up on a couple things that are coming up this week. We will be having a story on our podcast about RV covers. Yes or no? And a lot of people have been asking about RV covers. And so we got a couple of experts to product specialists to kind of talk about what to look for, answering all the major questions about, how hard are they to put on? What about waterproof versus water resistant? It's an important point that you'll want to catch. And that will be our interview of the week coming up on Wednesday on the RV podcast. So we hope you guys will check that out. And we're looking forward to seeing that. All right, let's look at some of the other questions. Here's Kathy. She says, it seems that my door swells in humidity and gets harder to close, both from inside and outside. We changed the lock to no avail.
I wonder what kind of RV it is.
There are small little portable RV dehumidifiers that you can pick up, or just go to Amazon and search for dehumidifiers and take a portable one, and you should be able to find that without any problems. Hey, our friend Matthew Blow is around with the questions.
Did you stay warm in the snow with the Wonder? Was the Unity easier to cool and heat?
I think the Unity was easier to cool because it was ducted heat. And this is not ducted heat. This is the traditional rooftop air conditioner that kind of hangs down below the roof, in the back of the RV. And it has a couple of vents. It just is not enough to really cool the front of it off nearly as efficiently as that ducted Unity did.
And our Wonder, where our heat vents are located, the propane, we stayed warm when we've needed
In
heat.
fact, what did we set? We set the inside temperature to 58 degrees,
Mhm.
and that's still really, it's comfortable. It's not
Yeah.
anything higher than that. It's too hot. We wake up in the middle of the night, and we've had the temperature now a couple of times. We've camped in the 30s, and we set the inside temperature thermometer to 58 degrees, and that seems to be the right temperature for us.
Mhm.
So it's been good. Hey, another super chat. Thank you from Keep Calm and Tech. Was your Class B loud on the road? Our interior makes so much noise on the road. You can hear everything. We have a Winnebago era.
Hmm.
Yeah, they are. All of our Class Bs were really noisy. All of them. The Sprinters, particularly so.
And the back, a very bumpy ride.
Yeah.
Bump, 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 bump.
By the way, we talked a minute ago about the B-Box and advanced RVs. One of the reasons those are so expensive, I mentioned the cost. I forgot to mention too, is they all have computer-assisted air suspension, which is, in itself is like an $8,000 upgrade that really levels it all off and keeps it smooth. And they insulate the wheel wells. They do a lot of extra installation on theirs. Most of the Sprinter vans, the Class Bs, the Class Cs that we've seen and driven, and it's all been Bs and Cs that we've had in 7 different models, with the exception of the Ford Transit that we're in now. All of them were very noisy on the road, and you can go back and listen to our videos where we're doing our on camera stuff as we're driving, and you can hear, no matter how we're using microphones here. I've had our little shotgun mics here, hidden over just outside of the camera range. I have used every different mic in the world, and they're so noisy. The one we're in now is the quietest of them all, which is the Ford Transit. It drives like an SUV.
The one that we had that was higher up, that you were trying to work in the back for the ride.
Yeah, that was a Sprint. It was a road trek.
Yeah,
and I was in the back. I mean, I was levitating.
The word is escaping me right now. They're up higher to.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the sleeping bags you use?
It's called the RV Super Bag.
Super bags, and they are super.
But it's technically the RV Super Bag. And I think that there is a super bag out there, and that's why they say RV. So you know it. If you look at it, it's a private company. We bought ours almost 9 years ago, and we still use them. We love them. We have a video, search for Super Bag, RV Super Bag on YouTube, our YouTube RV Lifestyle channel. You can see how they work, but explain
We have a king size, and we have 2 twins.
That's how much we got both of them. We have no deal with this company. We bought. They're expensive.
It's a very small company, and they are very expensive. But it's like 2 blankets. The top side is for the winter, and the other side's for summer, a little bit over you. And so whichever side you put up is how warm you want to be. The sheets, we have Velcro. You put the sheets in, take the sheets out. And we are even using that in our twin bed wonder. We're using the twin sleep. Well, you shouldn't call them sleep bag. Super bag. RV super bag.
Yeah. What is it like camping during a pandemic?
Well, you wear a mask when you go in to use the bathroom. If you choose to go in and use the bathroom, you take a shower there.
That's why we have an RV.
You have to use the mask. Maybe you're not as welcoming to people. Come on over and sit by our campfire, but you could be. Just restaurants, you go. I still can't get used to restaurants because mask and social distancing.
Camping is probably the safest activity you could possibly do during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. It is. I want to print up my next group of T-shirts. I'm looking for a graphic artist, by the way, that can print up my T-shirts for me. And the ones I want would say, I'm doing is, we were socially distant before it was cool. And that's really what camping is. We tend to boondock, so we don't see anybody at all. And it's great. And when you're hiking, you don't see anybody. So if you're going to do something, camping is probably the best thing to do. And other than a lot of other people were camping this past season, season's over now pretty much, in the northern states. Most of the campgrounds that shut down right after Halloween, so they're closed now. But exception of a lot of new people out there and crowded campgrounds, we found no difference at all. Camping during the pandemic was a godsend for us and a lot of other people.
Yeah, and maybe just like a hotel, if there's a pool there, how many people they'll allow
I think
by
most
the
were
pool.
closed this year. Most were closed. Yeah. So that was it. If you stay in a campground, you had probably fewer options, but we seldom stay in campgrounds.
And do y'all ever rent a car to sightsee? Just hang out at campsite or drive wander around? Basically, we drive the wander around.
Yeah, there's nothing to it, you know. You push a button and the levelers come up and you unplug the electricity if you're plugged into electricity. Most of the time we're not. So we just move on, and we aren't too worried about the campsite. If we find a really great campsite and we're afraid somebody's going to be there, we make it look occupied. We've never had anybody steal a campsite in 9 years.
And you know, you say rent a car. You could also get Rover. Like if you're by a big city and you want, not Rover,
Uber.
Yeah. Rover's for the dog.
Rover's for the dog. Uber's for us. Yep.
Uber's for us. I mean, you don't have to rent a car, but you could rent a car. I'm thinking if you're getting like out east, you know, there's lots of sightseeing and you don't want to take your RV in. There are different ways to get there. And there's also your bikes, you know, e-bikes or your regular bikes to get around to see where you want to see.
I think Enterprise will even bring the car to your campsite. So if we've never done that, but you know, that's an option.
And as far as pets, sometimes Rover will come to your campground and take the pet to their house.
Or stay at the campsite.
Or stay at the campsite with your pet.
We've also asked at campsites, and many of them will say, oh, yeah, we know Joe down the street. He's a teenager. He loves to watch the dogs, and he'll come and play with your dog at the campsite for, you know, while you're out doing stuff. So.
But we don't rent a car.
No, never have.
We haven't found the need to, but I could see the need for that if you went out east.
Laser. Oh, there's our dog right there. I just walked in. Hey, Bo.
Okay. When he wants pets now, he's insisting on
Bo.
pets.
Yeah.
When you're on the road, how many hours a day do you drive?
Well, my goal is, you know, 330 miles.
That's
or
the goal.
3:30 in the afternoon, and I probably hit that maybe about every third time, not very often. We try. Now, if we go to Florida, the trip that we're going, we'll spend the night in, you know, we'll drive about 500 miles to Nashville and spend the night. But we take our time going down there. There's a lot of stuff. We know this route we're going to do, so we might go a little faster this time. We know we want to stop for lunch, or where you might want to rest and take the dog for a walk or find a dog park. But seldom do we drive.
It's not. I mean, sometimes you have to get where you need to be, but it wears you out and it's not fun.
And
so try to pace yourself.
Yep, and you know, it all depends.
Okay, my water pump makes a knocking noise. Is it because of air in the lines, or is there some blockage in the line? What do you think?
Usually, mine does that when I don't have enough fresh water in it. So I don't know how much fresh water you have. Is it a full tank, or is it just a little bit? If it's full, it should not knock, and it shouldn't be air in there. I don't think you have a blockage. A big thing on a water pump is the filter. It really clogs up quickly. If you're connected to a lot of campground stuff, you will not believe the sediment that's trapped in that filter, and your pump is working really hard. We got Bo here.
Bo, would you like to show your little L-crown face?
Let me take the Facebook user off the screen. There's Bo.
There's Bo.
Bo has to
Bo,
say hi.
can you?
He hears us talking. He wants to know who's here.
He wants to know who we're talking to.
Yeah, who are you guys talking to?
Who are you guys talking to?
But so, you know, get to your water pumps, and if you have a full tank and it's still knocking, then I would kind of, you know, turn off the valves and unhook it and look at the air filter and see if that's all clogged up. That's usually a common thing. Steve Lucier.
I installed a 30 amp camper service on our home, like that of the campgrounds. Cost him $75.
Wow, I wish I knew you, Steve, because mine cost me about $350, but I didn't install it myself. I had a commercial electrician come and do it.
Yeah, we paid a lot, and then the wires hanging
right
out there.
My unit is out there plugged into it right now, and it is well worth it.
Boy, it's really great that you could do that yourself. You saved yourself a lot of money.
Yep, it is. So I had a guy come and do
only cost $75.
Yep, good for you. That's something I recommend, by the way.
And it was years ago we had ours installed.
Yeah, it's so good for you. All right. Let me go back and see if I'm missing anything. Did I see another super? I thought I saw another super chat that we might have missed, but let me kind of wander through here. To have your voice heard on the podcast, you can leave us a comment or question, and there is the number to call right there, 586-372-6990. If you'd like a question to get to us, and that's all we use it for is for our podcast. So don't leave me messages if you're a business trying to get us to sign up for something, because
And don't worry that you might make a mistake.
Yeah,
because if you make a mistake, Mike will edit it because we want you to sound good just as much as you want, maybe more than you want.
And we love to get your questions.
And it's nice to hear other voices. Very, very nice.
Yeah, it really is fun. So I think I've hit pretty much everything on here. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about being a member. We do have an ability, a way for you to be a member and to help support us a little bit, both on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you like the kind of stuff we do and would like to help us rely more on our supporters and our followers and our community, there's a way to help us and be a part of it and help us be connected with you a little bit.
I don't know. Steve worked at a rent-a-car.
I missed that. So
oh dear.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we got lots of stuff. Phyllis is doing a nice job putting all those things up. I did see a question. There was. That's the one. It says rent-a-car delivers for specific reasons, usually only when inns arrange it. It's close enough. We've seen them delivered, Steve, to campgrounds. So I think it depends on where they're located and how often the
how much they need business.
Yep. So yep, they do. Laser, were you in Manitoba approximately a year ago? Yes, almost a year ago. Was it a year ago? You know what? It's been more like 2 years ago. Gosh, time flies. Yeah, because this year we were stuck with the pandemic. It's been almost 2 years since we've been in Manitoba, and I would love to have been there. Here's somebody else that's talking about it. He says, I found that noise comes from movement of your pipes, not from your water pump. Could be mine when the freshwater tank is low, it makes a lot of knocking noise, and when I've had it clogged. So that's kind of what I would have you guys check. So that's it for this week. Man, did time go? That was the quickest hour we have ever had. Want to remind everybody that we will be if our newsletter comes out tomorrow. Please check that out. If you've never subscribed to our newsletter, you can do so by going to rvlifestyle.com. That's our travel blog. And if you don't know about our blog, we have new content every single day, and really great content. So please make that a part of your surfing every day, rvlifestyle.com. You can sign up for our newsletter through there. You can find a link to our YouTube channel and subscribe to that. And there's a place there if you'd like to be a supporter, you can do that.
Can I answer one question?
Sure.
Okay. Craig wants to know what kind of refrigerator we're getting. Since it's under warranty.
Wait. We got to put Craig's name up. Is it? No, it's
right up here.
Wait a minute.
What refrigerator?
Okay.
Just what refrigerator getting? Since it's under warranty, they're replacing the refrigerator that was defective and same brand.
It's a Dometic, yeah. Would you still recommend RV Host? I wonder, David, if you mean Harvest Host. And I've never heard of RV Host, but if you're thinking of Harvest Host,
yes,
we do. Question: in regards to propane during normal driving, do you shut it off? I do not. I know in long tunnels it's a rule, but what's your take on simple driving? I do not. Never have. 9 years. We don't go through long tunnels. Most of them do want you to do that, to turn it off, but that's mostly out east. Every now and then you run into someone on a turnpike, and by the time I would have pulled over and turned it off, I'd already be through it. So I do not. So there you go. Well, you guys have been great. There's still a lot of questions, and I wish I could get to more of them, but we always promise to end this as best we can right at an hour. Let's check in and say thanks and bring her back. And everybody give her a round of applause. Phyllis Kerr is there.
Yay.
Hi, Phyllis.
Hi.
How was everybody today?
They were sort of behaving. I had to throw a few people out, but that's okay.
Well, a few is great because, the way the world is today, I don't know. Phyllis specializes in social media. Why are people so mean and angry these days?
It's unbelievable. Literally, the people in some of the groups on Facebook are just out of control, and it's just like too much. Everybody here generally is really, really nice, and it's so good to see their questions and their comments, and
Oh, I
they
love the
support each
questions,
other,
yeah.
and it's all good. It's just a few people I have to kick out. It's like no big deal here.
Yeah. So,
Phyllis, the bouncer.
yeah, don't mess with Phil. Phyllis, thank you. We'll see you next week too, eh?
All right, bye-bye.
And thanks to all of you guys for tuning in and making us a part of your Sunday night. And I wish I wish we could have gotten to every single comment and question. We always go back afterwards, and we love to look at your comments. Wherever you are, stay safe. This pandemic thing is not over yet, so
They got
be
questions,
careful.
they can phone them in.
Yes, you got
Podcast.
questions. You saw that number. It was up there someplace. It's also available at rvlifestyle.com. You got questions, phone in those audio questions, and I'll play them in the podcast, and we'll answer them in detail. And we'll even put a print version with any links that we do. So you guys have been great again, as always. I hope you have a wonderful weekend now that it is November. And time to start thinking about putting up the Christmas decorations. Can you
Let's
believe
get through
that?
Thanksgiving first.
All right, we'll have to figure that out.
Put away the Halloween things.
Yeah.
Get out the Thanksgiving.
All right. God bless you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you right back here next Sunday for Ask Us Anything.
Happy trails.